So to finish, what are the key sort of challenges that I see for the AU moving forward in this area? From the AU side, it's pretty clear. It's how can it sustain, how can it increase, and how can it coordinate all these different stakeholders and partnerships to promote peace and security on the continent. As I see it, 4 key challenges are on the table at the moment. Number 1 is getting a consensual position at the AU. The AU is a lot like a sort of gladiatorial arena where ideas and policies and countries go to argue with one another, and it's not always clear what comes out on top of that fight. There's a lot of political contestation and misaligned political interests within the AU's membership, which means it's not always clear what is the dominant or consensual African approach here. And there's certainly not always agreement between the AU and the RECs or within the AU's own member states, which causes problems. Secondly, there's still a long list of capability gaps when you look at the AU's ability to deploy peace operations in the field. Just recently, it declared its African Standby Force operational. Not fully operational because at least one of the regions is not working anytime soon in the north, but it's now got a capability that it hasn't had before, at least on paper. But it's still going to struggle to put together the capabilities necessary to plan missions, deploy missions, sustain missions, manage missions in the field, and there are still a lot of gaps, particularly when it comes to the civilian and policing components of the African Standby Force. And third challenge related to that are bureaucratic gaps at the African Union Commission. We sort of expect these institutions to work, but I think it's important to remember that for effective institutions to work, you need bureaucrats and civil servants, and you need those civil servants to be relatively happy bunnies when they're working, to be reasonably well paid, have some sort of prospect for reasonable career development, some sort of meritocracy as to how they're going to be hired, progress in terms of their career. And the AU Commission, frankly, has struggled on all of these counts moving forward. So moving forward, how can we build a bureaucracy that can effectively plan, manage, support, and implement these types of structures is going to be key. And finally, money and finance. The whole of the APSA architecture has struggled with the issue of financial ownership, in as much as it doesn't have financial ownership over these institutions and structures. A significant majority of all the money that is supporting these activities is coming from outside the continent. And so a key challenge moving forward is how the African Union and its own member states are going to develop more indigenous sources of development to bolster these structures and institutions. I'll leave it there.